Hello and welcome again to Piedmont Business Live. I'm your host, Ken Morris, and right now we're talking to Rhonda Carson. She is the owner of GIRLZ on Fire. Rhonda, thank you for being with us. First, tell me, what is GIRLZ on Fire? What do you do?
Well, GIRLZ on Fire is a firearm safety training company, and the services that I currently provide are North Carolina concealed carry firearms training. I also offer an intro to handgun training course that I'll be rolling out in May of this year. I also do some handgun cleaning, and I do private one-on-one instruction.
So you do groups and individuals?
Yes.
And you know, when you see people handling handguns and things like that on television, they make it look so easy, but really it's something that requires an enormous amount of care and training to do properly. And you help people do that.
Definitely. I think growing up, most of us played a little cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
And what I notice is that the first thing that people do when they pick up a handgun is that they want to put their finger in the trigger.
Yeah.
And that is one of the rules of firearm safety, is to keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. So I'm sure that my students get tired of me saying, finger along the frame of the gun, finger along the frame.
Safety first.
I'm preaching that all through the courses.
So what credentials do you bring to your clients?
Well, I am a certified NRA instructor. I'm certified to teach basic and first steps pistol for the NRA, and I am also certified by the North Carolina Department of Justice to teach the North Carolina concealed carry handgun training course. Good.
And so what does FIRE stand for? Because when you see the name of your business, it's GIRLZ on F.I.R.E, so forth. So
Yeah.
what does the FIRE stand for?
So I wanted it to have some meaning behind it, not just to throw a name out there. So because I do target women, my acronym stands for Feminine, Independent, Resilient, and Empowered.
Excellent. And women have really gravitated towards this, right?
Yes. The women's firearm industry is growing tremendously in the past several years. I think there's a lot more product available for women, and there's a lot more ranges and gun shops that are bringing in gear specifically geared toward women.
And I would imagine that women who, before they go through training like this, must feel intimidated, or I would say many of them must feel intimidated around firearms, as anybody would be.
Right.
And I imagine after they've gone through this, not only have they learned how to handle that firearm, but they, I would imagine, feel a lot more confident and self-confident.
Definitely. Many of the women that come to class, they have grown up around firearms. Their fathers and grandfathers have had firearms, and they feel that they need to learn how to use them because they have been around them all their lives but have never had any direct exposure to them. And I think that we all should have a certain amount of fear, and that, you know, we should have respect for the tool itself. Right. And when they come in fearful, I let them know, you know, it's a tool and it does not operate without human interaction. And the first thing we do is go over safety. And I teach them also how to stand, how to grip, how to align their sights, how to, you know, right, practice with their breathing, because anytime we have a firearm in our hand and we're trying to shoot to a target, then your natural breathing is going to cause your handgun to move up and down. Right. So there's some art to
it's a lot more than just point and shoot.
Definitely a lot more than point and shoot. And then a lot of people like to recommend women to purchase a revolver as a handgun. But what I found is if you plan to conceal carry a revolver for a woman, it just adds an extra bulk because of the round cylinder. Right. So a revolver is not necessarily the best choice. And a revolver, 38 revolver, does have quite a bit of recoil to it. So may not be the best choice for a woman. So I do highly recommend that they also look at a semi-automatic weapon.
Got you. Okay. So describe to me your target customer. Who is it that you are aiming this business towards?
Well, my target customer is definitely women. Growing up, I received my first firearm at the age of 19.
Yeah.
And I grew up actually in the country, so I started shooting at the age of 7, 8 years old, shooting BB guns and pellet guns in the backyard, shooting at cans with my granddad. And once I received my first firearm, some of my female friends who found out that I had a firearm, they were like, I'm scared of guns, So my first reaction has always been to them that I'm afraid to not have my firearm. It just has always given me peace of mind in my home, sleeping at night, and especially after having a kid, I do feel that, a dog is a great notification that something is going on,
right.
But he gives you time to get to your firearm if there is something going on. And there has been a time that I have had to actually get my firearm because someone was knocking at my door late at night, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and that was my first instinct was, get the gun. And the guy, he said, well, I tell people this story often, that I have a big old country voice. And I feel like that your voice can be your first line of defense.
It sure can.
So when he was knocking on my door, it was enough to awake me from my sleep. And I went to the door and I said, who is it? Very, very loud. And he said, my car broke down. Is your husband home? And I said, my husband is asleep, really loud. But I don't have a husband. I am single. I do have a boyfriend that I've been dating for 3.5 years. But he was going to meet my boyfriend, who would have been Smith & Wesson that night. Smith or Wesson, whichever was his choice.
That's right. That's right. Well, you just can't be too careful, and you don't know. This person could have had honest intentions, but boy, you just don't know.
You just don't know, because there's no reason for anyone to be knocking on your door at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Right.
And if he had tried to get into my home, what would I have done, with me and my kid in there if I didn't have a way to protect myself?
Right. Yeah. So are you open to clients outside of this target market?
I am. I get that question a lot, and because the company name is Girls on Fire, a lot of men are like, well, I want to come to class, but do you teach men? And I do teach men. I actually had 3 men in class on Saturday, in addition to, I think it was 9 women. I had 11 total, so 7. I can't count too good this morning. So I had 8 women and 3 men on Saturday.
Great.
I'm still not counting well. But I had 11 students total on Saturday, and 3 of those were men.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's men and women coming as a couple. And this past Saturday it was a brother and sister came in.
I see. That's excellent. And I assume that your clients, when they come into a class, they need to bring their own firearm with them?
I do offer handgun rental and ammunition as an option if you don't have your own firearm. And one of my requirements, I don't allow anyone to bring their firearm into class. So I always ask as they're coming into class, do you have your firearm with you? And people have ignored the written rules through the booking site, and I've sent them back to their vehicle. But I'm the only one who's allowed to bring a firearm into the class.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell me about the future of your business. How do you want to see this grow?
Well, I have a fairly small office right now. My maximum amount of students that I prefer to teach is 8. And the past 2 classes that I've had, there have been a couple of people who have shown up who didn't pre-register. And I don't want to turn them away, because they are there to learn, the safety and the mechanics of how to utilize a firearm properly. So I work with them and get them on in and get them through the training class and the qualification. So I would like to expand into a larger facility, because right now, like I said, I only take 8 at a time because of my space. And I would see myself hiring an assistant, a trained assistant, to assist me as the business grows. And I would actually like to get into firearm sales.
Really?
And eventually I would like to have my own range, and I would like to teach classes, have the range, and do everything in one location is what my ultimate goal would be.
Excellent. Well, Rhonda, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's wonderful to know that you're out there providing a service to help people be safe, to protect themselves, and to give them a lot more self-confidence just in their environment around them. If you want to learn more about Girls on Fire, and if you want to be a girl on fire, then please visit Rhonda's website. It's at the bottom of this page, and it'll also be at the end of this video. You can click on the link to go to their website and find out more. And if you're interested in taking classes, please go there and pre-register, and you can find out more information about how to get in contact with Rhonda. Rhonda, thanks so much for sharing your business story with us. We wish you great success.
Thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate you having me today.
Glad to. Thank you for tuning in to Piedmont Business Live. We'll see you again next time.